welcome to Mini Monets. I'm Miss Liz, and today we are going to make a super cute terracotta pot that's painted like a bird with some wheatgrass growing. If you registered for this program, you will have picked up your kit at the New Lenox Library. And if you did not, you can follow along using your own supplies. So the wheatgrass that's growing in the top is edible. So you can give it a try. You might need a glue gun for this project, or you can use Elmer's glue. I used Elmer's glue and on the sample. And a good rule of thumb is when you're gluing something with Elmer's glue and you want to make sure that it sticks, hold it nice and tight and count to about 30 and see how that goes. If you plan to use a glue gun, please ask a grown-up to help you because it gets very hot and we don't want you to burn your fingers as you're creating your cute little bird. All right, let's get started. What's inside your bag? You each have a terracotta pot. Your pots are much smaller than my pot. I ran out of the small ones, couldn't find any more at the store, so I bought a big one. This might be helpful because then it'll be easier for you to see how I'm doing the process. You also have some wheatgrass seeds inside your kit. This is what I have, wheatgrass sprouting seeds. These once this is grown, the grass is actually edible. I've never eaten it. It says right on here, from our farm to your table. Easy to grow indoors. So you can grow your wheatgrass inside or out. I've actually grown this grass before for my dog and my cat. They seem to really like to nibble on that every now and then. You're also going to find some googly eyes, a piece of cardstock to use for the beak, and some feathers. I don't have mine handy right now, and a condiment cup filled with paint and a paintbrush. So each of you are going to have different color paint. You may not have yellow. I'm using yellow today. You might have red or blue or purple. I don't know. It'll be a surprise for you. And let's go ahead and start painting our pot. I'm just going to stick some paint in a bowl for myself because it's a little bit easier for me, and I had to pack up all your stuff into a condiment cup. So go ahead, open up your condiment cup, and let's get going. So I did forget to mention that you also have some dirt and some soil in your bag. So let's start. I'm going to hold my pot in my hand, and I'm just going to paint this bottom part. I'm not going to paint this part because that's where I'm going to hold onto it. So I recommend just going all the way around. It's probably going to take several coats to make it look nice and smooth. You're going to take your paintbrush and spread out those lines so we don't have any big globs of paint. We're going to try to go in one direction. That seems to make it look a little bit nicer. All right. Now my paintbrush is bigger too because my pot is bigger. So it does take a little bit of time to get all your paint on there, but that's okay. It dries pretty quick, it soaks right in, so you won't have to wait very long. Go ahead and pause the video so you can catch up and get your pot all covered, and then we'll check back in a few minutes and you can take a peek at it, see if there's any big globs that you need to go over. Let's see, it's a little thick right there on mine, so I'm gonna spread that out a little bit. And then I'm gonna set it upside down and let it dry for a few minutes. All right, how does your first coat look? Does it look pretty good? Mine is mostly dry, so I'm gonna start on the second coat. I'm still going to work on this part, so I have this to hold on to. So go ahead and add your next coat. You can see how much nicer it's going on because it has that base underneath. All right. Let's work on that. All right, how does yours look? Mine is mostly dry. I do see one spot here that's a little thick, so I'm just gonna go over that. And now I'm gonna hold it by the bottom. On mine, I can fit my finger in there to hold it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to, so just make sure yours is completely dry before you grab onto it. And now we'll start doing this lip. It's okay if you go over the top. I wouldn't paint on the inside. We'll just do the outside. But you could do this, the little top part right here. And actually, mine seems to be dry enough that I'm going to just set it down here on my work surface because I realized that wasn't as comfortable of a way to hold it. And now I'm just gonna spin it around as I go. So I have 2 coats on the bottom part, and that seems to work for mine. So I'll let this dry and I will add another coat. Let me tilt it so you can see. So go ahead, get your 2 coats on, and then we'll go on to the next step. All right, if you're still waiting for your last couple coats to get dry, let's take our piece of paper that we're gonna use for our beak and let's create our beak. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half, like that. So then on the edge where you have your crease, that's where you're gonna start your cut. And we're gonna cut in to make a triangle, and it's gonna cut both pieces at the same time. So let's start just at the corner and go to the center. So we're on the part that has the fold, and we'll cut it like that. And then we'll come over here to the other corner and go and meet it up here like that. So here we have our beak that's gonna go right on our pot. If your beak is a little bit too big, you could come back and trim it up a little bit on each of the sides. Just make sure you start cutting on the folded edge. Mine is all dry and ready to go. So I'm going to just lay it on its back, and I'm going to add my feathers. So I always grab a glue that's clogged every time I make a video. So I'm just going to be putting my feathers on using a paintbrush. If that works good for you, you can do that as well. I did include in your bag a few extra feathers, so I've only got a few for mine, but you've got extra, so you can have fun with that and decorate as you like. So I've got the feathers here, one on each side. And then I'm going to put googly eyes on. So you can just put a nice decent size glob on each eye. Now, if you're using a glue gun, this will stick right away. But if you're using Elmer's glue like I am, we're gonna have to hold it on there for a little bit. So I'm just gonna press down and I'm going to count to 30. All right, so they stuck on there. And now I'm going to take my beak, and this will be the top and this one will be the bottom. I'm gonna curve the bottom one up just a little, and I'm gonna put some glue right here. That way when I lay it on here, this part's not going to be glued down, so it's going to look like the bird's mouth is open. So just a little bit of glue right here. And I'm gonna count to 30, just like I did before. And there we go. Look how cute it's turning out. So next up, we are going to add our soil. So I've got a large bag here, and I'm going to use a big spoon to put it in there, but you probably will be able to just dump it in there from the Ziploc bag that it's in. Whoops. And when I do this kind of stuff, I always make a mess. So usually when I'm planting my own flowers at home, I do it outside in the grass. That way I don't have to worry about cleaning up the mess afterwards. So go ahead, get your soil in there. And just like that. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to add our seeds. And we're just gonna sprinkle them in there. Just go ahead and use all of them. And then you're gonna try to get them in there. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. Poke them down in there a little. If you have a little bit of dirt left over, you can add a little bit on top, just so those seeds are covered. But you have smaller fingers than I do, so you might be able to just press them down in there. And here we have our little pot. So how did yours turn out? Here's mine. So put your extra feathers on there. You can stuff some feathers in the front. Whoop, here's the front here. And once your grass grows, it's gonna look wonderful. So I would love to see how your pot turned out. So you can send it to me before your grass grows and put it on the comment section on our Facebook post, or you could send me a picture of what it looks like now before your grass grows. So I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoy growing your fun wheatgrass. And also, maybe you should let me know if you tried tasting it and what it tasted like. Maybe it goes in a salad? What do you think? Have a great day.